Hey, God Life, good to connect again. My name is Jesse. I'm here in Seattle, in America, and I love going through the Bible with you. And also hearing any comments, please share this video as well with any friends you think that might be encouraged. Now, today I want to talk about the book of Kings. And in the book of Kings, there's David and then Solomon. David is the dad, Solomon's the son. David has a desire to build a temple for the Lord, but God says, no, it's going to be the next generation. It's going to be Solomon. And David makes a pivot that I think is so essential, but a lot of people in the older generation don't make this pivot. David shifts and supports his son, sets him up for success, encourages him the whole way through, and Solomon receives so much from his father David. Now, I know we have a lot of people in this generation who don't have maybe a dad or a mom around to encourage them, but even if you don't have biological kids, you can find people who are the next generation and spiritually pour into them and encourage them. You know, if an older generation is self-consumed, the younger generation suffers. If the older generation's lazy, the younger generation isn't set up for success. It's so important for older generations to go and serve the younger generations. You see it within a family, grandparents and parents serving the children, creating a life for them that is even better maybe than what they experienced growing up. There's a responsibility in the Bible for the older generations to help the younger generations know the Lord and walk with the Lord, and to pass on the wisdom and the stories so the younger generations can absorb it. I see a comment there from Deep. Please keep sharing and making comments. As we're talking about the next generation, I want to ask you, if you're in a workplace, who are the people around you that you see have a lot of talent that are younger than you? And how can you give them opportunities? How can you fan the flame? How can you encourage them so they spread their wings? The younger generation needs people who are going to cheer them on and who are also going to give honest feedback as well. A younger generation is essential in every nation, in every church. There's a lot of churches that get stuck in their preferences and they don't consider the younger generation. Some of them don't have people on committees who are under 50 years old, and they never hear the voice of the younger generation. We can't just, as we get older, think about ourselves. We want to be multi-generational in every church. And it's so important to be intentional with the younger generations as well. Pray for the younger generation. God is always thinking through succession and who's next. And the kingdom is not about one person at all. You know, I see a lot of older pastors who haven't thought through succession and they haven't raised up the younger generation. And then what happens when they retire? Churches get stuck or they even die. So I want you to really consider, who are the people that God's placed in your life in the younger generation? And you know what? You'll learn from them. You'll learn so much from them. I've seen that a younger generation often responds to what was missing in the older generation. If an older generation just has dead religion and it's stiff, a younger generation will come with passion and will also focus on intimacy with Christ. Not just knowledge, but intimacy. If the older generation is, let's say, struggling in one area, the younger generation will have a passion to be healthy in that area. I see younger generations now, especially in America, I see it in our church, they want authenticity. If an older generation has a double life, or an older generation has a front, and maybe has things looking good on the outside, well, younger generation's going to really push for and lean in on depth and authenticity. So notice the younger generations around you. What do they value? Don't just judge them or look down upon them because they do things differently, but understand what's going on the inside. What is the why underneath what they're doing? And let's bond together. Let's serve Jesus together. It was God's vision for David to pour into Solomon. Solomon would do greater things than David would in terms of building the temple. That was God's design. When the younger generation does a greater work than maybe something even you hope to accomplish in your generation, but instead you're going to pass that baton. You know, Moses led them to the promised land, but then the next generation, Joshua leads them into the promised land. So God sees the generations. Let's love the younger generation. Don't be intimidated by them. Don't be lazy. Don't be indifferent. Understand them, connect with them. They need your affirmation and they need your care. And all this honors Jesus. And Jesus is the same yesterday, today, forever. Every generation needs Jesus and a relationship with him. Let's spread the good news about Jesus. If this encourages you, continue to read through the Bible in a year with me. We're in Kings right now. And share this video. And also God Life TV has a lot of great videos and resources to help us grow in our faith together. All right, have a great day with the Lord, and keep your eyes open and keep praying for and serving the younger generation.